You're watching Ride Like a Local with Belt Drive Betty. Welcome to the last episode of Season 6 of Ride Like a Local. This week we crown Lloydminster as Canada's most rider-friendly community from the 2017 riding season. In the heart of the Canadian Badlands is Drumheller, runner-up community in Canada's most rider-friendly community contest 2017. We invite you to come experience the hospitality, drink in the views of one of Canada's most unique and haunting landscapes, Drumheller, Alberta. We're at the Toy Run Dance for the Lloydminster Hog Chapter. I'm being joined by Community Futures Executive Director for Lloydminster, Phyllis Maki, and one of her board members.
Board chair.
The board chair. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm in royalties. And we're here to talk a little bit about the Community Futures involvement in Canada's most rider-friendly community contest. Phyllis, tell me what it means to you as a Community Futures Executive Director and a rider that one of the communities you look after and support actually won this contest.
It's huge for us because Community Futures is all about supporting small businesses, and it's about supporting economic development in the communities. And if people can start to understand just how much the bike community actually contributes, not just in charity events, but when we're out riding, as you well know, I mean, we stop every hour and a half to 2 hours and we spend money, and not all of us pack trailers behind us. So we're looking for hotel rooms and we're looking for food, and there's a significant economic spin-off from motorcycle tourism. And so to be part of this as an economic development agency is huge for us.
And Bonnie, what do you think about your region winning this contest and getting an extra shot in the arm with a whole bunch of free marketing?
Yeah, I think it's awesome, right? Just to bring that awareness to the community. And as Phyllis said, as a non-bike rider, you know, just to think about the economic impact, and to see it here is huge, right? Just because when we're not bike riders, we don't think of all of the things till we stop and are part of something that points it out. So making it a place where people want to come and spend their dollars and enjoy the countryside is awesome.
So let's talk a little bit about the countryside. Have you lived in this area most of your life?
Yes, I live at Frenchman Butte, which is north of the river, and just this time of year driving down that river hill is just gorgeous, right?
I can only imagine. Tell me a little bit about the Lloydminster region's spirit and people.
Oh, community volunteerism is huge. People rally around and support causes that are worthwhile. Volunteerism is huge, right? And people participate and support the community efforts.
And what I've seen from Lloydminster being out here, today, 2 degrees outside, pouring rain, 90 riders registered. They didn't all ride, but 90 people registered in spite of. What does that tell you about the resiliency of the riders in this region?
Well, I was one of the ones that registered and didn't ride because I spent 3 days ago riding through a snowstorm, and I figured that was enough for this year. But I think all of us just really want to support the community, and we want to support the charities that are involved in this particular event. But overall, I mean, when you talk about what riders get out there and do, most of us are pretty determined individuals. So whether it's revolving around a toy run, or whether it's just revolving around other things that we do in our lives, we're pretty resilient people, and we just want to keep going. And I think that was proven here today.
I agree. I looked at, like I said, there's probably about 50 bikes that actually started out on the run. They did the ride through town. Some went on and went out for 70 kilometers and then came back in. But you look at all of the people that dropped in and out for the pancake breakfast. You look at all of the community support from people who don't ride. That also impressed me, because part of being a rider-friendly community is for non-riders to be welcoming and understanding of riders. Let's address that elephant in the room.
Well, I think that's a huge thing, and that's a conversation that I have on a regular basis. And, as you know, I just recently came back from a bike trip, and I had posted some pictures on that trip because I stayed at a hotel. And the reason I posted those pictures is because I said people are often asking, what is rider friendly? What does that mean? What can I do to be rider friendly? And there was a hotel that I stayed at that was extremely welcoming and said, oh, you're on a bike and that's so exciting, and where are you traveling to, and asked if I had some maps and if there was anything more that they could do. But when I came out in the morning, they had put pylons around all of the bikes that were parked in the parking lot. They had put rags on everyone's seats so that we could wipe down our seats and wipe down the bikes. It was just so welcoming, and I mean, I will absolutely go back there again. I actually stopped and talked to the owners in the morning before I left. It was such a small thing, but it meant so much, because as a rider yourself, you know that there are times when you're really looking over your shoulder because you're made to feel uncomfortable. You're made to feel like you're kind of one of the bad guys. And I mean, I'm a normal human being. I'm a mom and a grandma and a aunt and all of those things, and I just happen to like to ride my motorbike. And I'm happy to spend my money in the communities that I travel to, and I'm happy to support events like this. So I think if we can get communities understanding that that's what it's really about, there's some huge benefits that they can receive economically and just in the spirit of the community.
I think that's the one thing a contest like this does, is community building. Getting people who would not normally even talk to each other, pulling for each other.
Yes, for sure. It opens the door for the first conversation, and from there, relationships are built and support is gathered each other, right?
And that's how we erase all kinds of lines of discrimination, because all discrimination comes from a place of fear, of not understanding. So once we start opening those barriers and that communication starts, then all of a sudden people are going, oh, you're just a human being.
Yes, exactly. And what a wonderful chance to bring that to Lloydminster, right? To win a contest so that more people can be aware and make those connections.
So there you go, folks. Connections, people, beautiful riding, gorgeous country, lots of wonderful people, businesses willing to serve you, wanting your trade and your custom. Give Lloydminster, Canada's most rider-friendly community from the 2017 riding season, a shot. You just might be surprised.
On the Alberta-Saskatchewan border is a welcoming city that was recently crowned as Canada's most rider-friendly community of 2017, Lloydminster. From rider-friendly businesses to great events, Lloydminster, Canada's most rider-friendly community. Come experience it. That's a wrap for Season 6, folks. Congratulations to Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, Alberta for being Canada's most rider-friendly community. I really look forward to sharing Season 7 and all of the events and experiences with you. Until next year, ride safe and ride like a local.